Welcome to RMS Sales Training and Inspiration. We are here in the lovely city of Atlanta, Georgia, and I am truly thrilled and excited to be here. We are going to a higher level. We've done several shows in Florida, great shows, and just great feedback. Just appreciate all your encouragement, all your emails, your text, your phone calls, and I'm glad that it's blessing you because it's blessing us also. So here we are in Atlanta, and we're going to do several shows out here. I got a special guest that's going to be on our show today. His name is Mitch Torbet. He's been in the business not even 2 years, about a year and a half, and the success that he's had in a short period of time is amazing. And it goes to show each and every one of you, if you're new in this business or you're new in sales, you can have success immediately. And it's all right here. You've heard me talk about this before. The keys that we're looking for is not if you've had past sales experience or you've had no sales experience. It's all up here. The most important thing that we're looking for are people that have desire, people that have that attitude. They have that determination. They're never going to give up. They're not going to just try this. They're going to go out there and do it. It's not a question of, I'll give it a shot. I'll give it my best college try. It's, I am starting out with Retriever Merchant Solutions. I'm going to make it happen immediately. And that's what this gentleman's doing. And during these videos that we're doing, we're going to be sharing a lot of training. And today I'm proud and excited to share that some of our new products that we have out, Mitch is going to be talking about the point terminal. I'll admit to you, I've been working in this business for 17 years. I'm old school. I've kind of resisted technology that's coming out. So I'm going to admit to you, I am learning from new people. I'm talking to brand new people that, hey, I did a point today. I did a clover. And I'm like, how did that work? How'd it go? Tell me all about it. So I'm excited about the things that he's going to be sharing with us. And I'm excited about the things he's going to help you and share with you also. So welcome to our show. We're thrilled. We're excited. And we're going to take a short break, and you're going to get a chance to meet this young man. We're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to learn. So let's take a short break. I'll be right back with Mitch Torbet.
Hey, everybody. Johnny Van Zandt here from Skinner. Hey, I want you to donate to the Hands and Feet West Side. West Side's the best side. There you go. It's where I was born at. Anyway, hey, listen, they're feeding homeless vets, homeless people, helping people recover. They're a good organization. Don't forget, donate to the Hands and Feet West Side. God bless.
Rock and roll, bro.
Please donate to the Hands and Feet Foundation West Side today. This ministry is a 501c3 non-for-profit organization. They feed people everyday hot meals. They give away clothes and food, and they also offer a sanctuary and prayer. Donate to the Hands and Feet Foundation on the West Side, Jacksonville, Florida, right there on 103rd Street. God bless you. Tell them American Hearts Radio sent you. We're on a mission for God.
Please visit Hands and Feet Westside, www.facebook.com/handsandfeet.org, or give them a call at 904-465-5083. 904-465-5083.
Hey, everybody, go to handsandfeetfoundation.org and support them. Don't forget, support. For the Son of Man who came to seek and save the lost. Luke 19:10.
Hi, Rich Norton here with Retriever Merchant Solutions. Retriever Merchant Solutions is an independent sales office for Vantiv credit card processing. If you're a small business and you're tired of paying high credit card processing fees with a lot of garbage fees and you're getting terrible service, time to call us. We're a direct processor. We're going to give you better rates, better service, and you'll be happy you're with us. Call 904-434-4635. Just ask for Rich Norton. I'll be blessed and happy to help you. Welcome back. It's great to be back, and I'm excited to have my guest, Mr. Mitch Torbet. Welcome to the RMS Sales Training and Inspiration. Great to have you here.
Thank you, Rich.
Mitch, I just wanted to have you share with some of our representatives, and keep in mind, a lot of these people that are watching the show, they're not even in sales, or they're thinking about sales, or they want to get involved with Retriever. So I want to let everybody know, because I know a lot of people have asked, do you have openings with Retriever? You guys are doing exciting things and great things. And yes, we do. We have opportunities all around the country. If you're interested in learning more about this opportunity, you want to learn about making good money, residual income, and having the life of your dreams, if you work hard for it, call me, 904-434-4635. We'll get you trained, we'll get you involved, and you'll be part of a winning team. So give me a call, and we'd love to share that with you. Now, Mitch, glad to have you on the show. Mitch started out in the company, I believe we were talking earlier, and it's been how long?
Almost 2 years. So
almost 2 years.
Almost
Okay. So what got you excited about this opportunity with Retriever? What drew you in?
Well, first and foremost, I was when invited to the industry, I'd pretty much interviewed many people, and I really wanted to know. I was hearing some numbers that were just astronomical. I wanted to know if they were true. So I would interview people myself and find out specifically if they were really making that kind of money, and it was true. I couldn't believe it. So then I just had to try it for myself, and Rich, it's made all the difference.
Absolutely. Great. So when you started out, and you've had success pretty much immediately. You were making money right out of the gates. And a lot of times new people will come into sales or come into Retriever, and they'll say, wow, I guess it's going to take me a while to get going. But you just came out of the gates, and you've just done a great job. As a matter of fact, Mitch was Rookie of the Year for our group, the RPS group. And I'm excited to say that he's won a trip. He's in the top 25, I think the top 15 in our company. And going to the Cayman Islands. By the time you see the show, he'll be all tanned, and he's already coming back from the Cayman Islands. So he's going on his first trip. But what do you find for you? What has been the keys to success for you?
Starting out of the chute, I knew that, my mentors, I knew that I had to treat this like a 9-to-5 business, and that really is the biggest thing. I had to monitor my activity. So I knew that if all I did was treat this like a 9-to-5, get out there early in the morning, come back in the afternoon, I would be successful. And that's how I was trained. That's exactly what I did. And the other thing is that this was truly my income. It was make it or break it for me. So with those two things in mind, that's how I've been successful.
That's good. So it wasn't a question of I'm going to try this or I'm going to give it a shot. You just burnt the bridge and you went for it.
Once I verified that the income is what it is, I went all for it, and it's made all the difference.
And he's done a great job, and his residual income is growing, and you can share. You know, we're transparent here. You've been doing this for a year and a half. You were sharing with me earlier for breakfast what your residual is at just in a short time.
So absolutely, Rich. Inside of a year, I noticed that I didn't have to worry about money anymore. My fixed bills were paid for. My residuals inside of 1 year were north of $4,000, which is a big deal for me. And now my goals are in the next, by the end of year number 3, that I'll be north of 15. I've now got a plan to do that. So that's been working well.
And that's just part of the income, you know, when you think residual income, but the money he's making up front off these wonderful terminals that we're going to be sharing with you has been incredible. So it's been absolutely fantastic. So for all of you that are new in the business and you're thinking that, hey, it's going to take me a while to get started, think about what he just said. He just not trying. He just made the commitment, and he's just doing it. He's making the decision. He's doing it. And many people in this business, unfortunately, they're inconsistent. They work a little bit, take a day off, work part-time, had a bad day, take the next day off, and they get no momentum. When you're doing what you're doing and you're working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, if you're doing that and you treat it like a job, you're going to have success in the industry. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
With that? And that's exactly what he's doing. So we have new products coming out, and I shared this with you. They've already been out. This is amazing. With Retriever Merchant Solutions, we have something for everybody. If a merchant wants a thing on their phone, we've got that. If they want a terminal, we got that. If they want to do online processing, we got that.
Right.
We have NMI processing. We have Veriphones. We have Ingenicos. We have a cash discount program. They do a surcharge, and we're going to share about that on another training class. We also have Clover. We have Point. There's no more excuses. We got something for everybody. But today, we're going to share the Point. Now, I kind of call Mitch my expert in this area. As we were sitting for breakfast, he was sharing. I'm like watching all this stuff. I'm like, wow, I didn't even know it does that at all. And I was like going in, presenting it to merchants like, yeah, this thing's great. It does this. Whatever you want, everybody loves it. And I was writing deals just doing it that way, which sometimes we have to keep it simple and be enthusiastic. But there's so much more that this terminal does. So I don't want to waste time. I want you to take over, and I want you to kind of do a little role playing with me. And as we're looking out to the all of our people out there on how you walk into a business and how you present the Point to a merchant when you're first starting out.
Absolutely.
Let everybody know out there.
Absolutely. So number one, Point really sells itself. One of the first things that I will do is I'll ask a potential merchant if I could get their professional opinion as a professional business owner, and I'll go to my car. I actually have one of these as a demo, and I'll just present it to them, and I'll just say, hey, what do you think? First thing I do is I want them to put it in their hands, and what are your thoughts?
And when you look at this thing, it's like sexy, right? I mean, and they look at it, and it's like completely different from what they've seen or experienced before. Right off the bat, you probably get, wow, this is cool.
Different.
This is different. I like this. Tell me about it.
Well, number one is we're going from a flip phone to a smartphone. That's how this is best determined. This is a smart terminal. So it's not a full-blown POS system, but it's a smart terminal. There's not a lot of things that it will not do. Basically, it'll do your payroll for you. It will allow you to have your employees clock in, clock out. It'll take a picture of your employee with one of the two cameras that it has to confirm that it's the actual employee, not clocking in for somebody else. I mean, it really is, it'll work as hard as you want it to.
Nice, nice. All right, so you walk into a business and you're presenting it to them, and how do you show, like when you're showing like the cards and how it does a transaction? I know you don't have a card with you, but can you kind of walk us through, let everybody know how simple it is too? Because sometimes a merchant will look at that and they'll say, hey, I've been kind of using this dumb terminal. Am I going to be able to use that? Are my employees going to be able, they're kind of slow. Are they going to be able to use this new Point terminal? How
Absolutely.
Easy is it?
Well, the first thing we want to do is you want to show them the YouTube video. So you want to find a YouTube video that's going to work for you, a short version, if you will. So, and you just get right back to the questions, and as you taught us, Rich, the person that is asking the questions is
the one that has the control.
That's right.
Yes.
So, with that being said, you're asking the questions and just responding accordingly. So the YouTube videos in itself really sells it for you. It's not a lot you have to do, if you will, except for just kind of walk them through what sells itself. Point sells itself. The YouTube videos sell itself.
So you're doing that. So when the customer walks in, like this part right here, the customer sees this. Now, what can they do on the front of that as a merchant?
So this will do one of three things as far as an actual receipt, if you will. It'll either generate a text receipt to the client,
okay,
which they can choose, and it will either print a receipt, of course, or email a receipt, or do all three, depending on what the merchant prefers.
Okay, good.
And this is the you're facing side, the business owner facing side, and this is for the merchant.
All right. So when a merchant has this, they can make it as big as they want it to be, right? They can use it just for a simple terminal, which I had an auto repair place guy. The guy was like, I just want to use it for taking cards. I love this thing. I don't want to put inventory or anything on that. So it can be as simple as that. However, you find a little coffee shop or you find a boutique and they're talking about, I want to get this big POS system and I was going to spend thousands of dollars. Do I really have to do that? Will this terminal do what I'm needing it to do? Can I put inventory on there? Can I put a menu on there?
That's a great question. Absolutely. And in fact, you can export what is currently you have and go to simply point.net and upload accordingly, and it'll be on your terminal just the day you get it. We have 5 different levels of tech support, which is profound. I mean, this is literally taking the test or taking the replacement, if you will, of the POS system. And so it is now, you don't have to invest tens of thousands of dollars for a POS system. This is going to do most of it for you.
Nice. So they have that, and you were talking about something on the phone. He was sharing this during breakfast, and I knew that a merchant, like if they're not at the business, they want to check up on how their sales were going for the day, they can look at an app on their phone. But all the other things that are on there, it's incredible. I mean, the owner doesn't have to even be there, and they can run it pretty much from that app. Can you show everybody that app and point them to it, and exactly, you may not be able to see it here, but just describe everything that's on that app as you were describing to me a little bit earlier.
Absolutely.
As you're doing it.
So everything that we have here is literally at your fingertips here. So you can run your business from Mars if you had a signal. You can check such things as your business volume on a real-time basis. Let's say that you're on vacation, what have you. You're no longer confined to being able to not be able to do things, and you have to be at your business. That's now a thing of the past. You can literally just go on here and go to my merchants, and go to my clients and do a refund just right here from my phone. Just one of many things.
Okay. What are some of the other things you were showing? Like there's a couple things at the bottom, like they can look at.
So you've got your customers. Let's just say you want to know who your most loyal customer is. Or if you want to know who your most recent customers are, who your most profitable customers are.
And it'll show that, and then they could, like, it has a whole listing of that, and it shows like all their customers, who has spent the most money, how many times they've been there for the last couple of months, and send them a gift.
That's right.
They're like, they say, okay, well, this is my #1 customer. I'm going to send them a gift card. And I heard recently, speaking of gift cards, the Point actually has an app where you can do gift cards on that. Have you done that yet, or?
That's correct. Actually, I don't have a merchant that has that installed yet. But yes, that is one of the accoutrements that it has.
Okay,
absolutely.
Awesome. So this terminal is exciting, and it does everything. I mean, I'm just what I've learned from today is amazing. I mean, as we were sitting for breakfast and we were sharing, is there anything more that you can add to what else it would do?
From a sales and a presentation perspective, the one thing that I would point out is that this has to pay for itself. And I'll even tell the prospective merchant, if you can't see this paying for itself, then you wouldn't want to do it. But it is an employee that will work very, very hard for you. And our job is to educate them, know a little bit about it. You don't have to know everything, because obviously the videos speak for themselves.
See, I like the fact that you presented that it's an employee for the business. And if they can really take that in, that it's not just a terminal anymore. That when you're explaining it, you have the dumb phone when it first came out. And what did the dumb phone do? It just took phone calls. That's it. And then they came out with the smartphone. And what does the smartphone do? It does everything. And I have my smartphone. It's like, well, how did I live without this thing? I can do everything on my smartphone. And the way they look at it, this is they have their regular when you see that video, exactly that video that you were showing, what's the name of that one that they can go to?
Just be POYNT on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah. And it does show, which is a great presentation, because it does show an actual business. And she has, first of all, an old Verifone VX510. And it talks about the dumb phone, and then it takes you right to the Point, and it replaces that, and it puts it there. And this lady's got a big smile on her face as she's doing the cards, and the customers are doing the cards. And you watch this video, it's like, man, that thing sells for itself right there. When they see that, they're pretty much 3/4 of the way sold. And then all you got to do is show a couple little things here. And then once you've done that, and if it's for them, let's get into the closing aspect of it, because that's what we're doing, right? We're trying to close. So you get down to the end, you presented it. Generally, what do you do your leases for? How do you explain it? And how do you get them to be on a merchant application that day?
Great question, Rich. Well, again, it really does sell itself. So once you're past the presentation point, you'll literally just want to ask a question. So You just go right into assuming the sale. Any opportunity you have to pull out an application, you're going to do that prior to this point, and you're just going to ask them, what. So, are you a LLC or are you a corporation? Okay, what's the full name of that? And you're just writing this down. And okay, with that being said, from there it's just a matter of going into the lease and explaining how the lease works, and that can be different for everybody. For me, sure. I personally sell all my leases at $50 to $60 for this equipment,
which is a great price. Yeah, and more than fair, because if they're spending all thousands of dollars on a POS, I mean, that is a great program.
Absolutely.
So, all right, so you $50 to $60, and what else were you saying?
The other thing, one thing about this, notably, the paper in this, it is 16 feet long, remarkably. However, that goes quick. So they will have to be on a paper plan, which is, as we know, $9.95 a month. So this customer needs to be prepared for that. And the other thing is that there's a 60 cents mandatory batch fee, which actually takes care of the actual technical support part of this, the 24/7
sure.
Different levels of tech support that we have. So those two things in mind, you're looking at an additional $30 a month in cost.
Which isn't bad, because if they're getting a program like Clover, which we also offer, in most cases I've seen them pay $45 to $50, $60 a month just to have the Clover service.
Right, that's mandatory. $49 for Clover.
Correct. So along with the point, as I was stating earlier, this can go bigger than what they want it, as big as they want it to be. So you can have a point, and if they say, hey, I want this, but I want a whole POS system. I mean, is there a cash drawer? Or how about if I'm doing, I want a separate printer or a scanner? I mean, tell me about all that, how all that works.
Absolutely. Again, those are all things that you can find on YouTube as well. Or Amazon is the best place to get. Perhaps you can either get one that is, there's about 4 or 5 different types of scanners that you can get. If you wanted to scan every single barcode in your store, you could literally accomplish that, and tech support would do that with you, on the phone with you.
Okay, good.
A cash store as well.
Now, I think we do that at our office,
That's
right?
right.
So if a merchant says, I want to have a cash drawer, I want to have a separate printer along with that, can I get all that together with Retriever Merchant Solutions?
Absolutely. Let's say you're a restaurant or a coffee shop that sells food, if you will, and you want to have a kitchen printer in the back. You want to be able to print from here, and you want to be able to operate accordingly. So and have a cash drawer. So we'll send you all three. So all three will be sent to you and be priced accordingly. So the cash drawer, I add an extra $10 a month. All right. For the cash drawer, and an extra $10 a month for the actual printer, which is a commercial grade kitchen printer. And so when you ring up food, only food is going to the kitchen printer, not whatever else you're selling.
Nice. So you can ring that up, and you got Chef Joe in the back, and he sees the printer, and he knows what to cook.
Absolutely.
They love that. That's great. Excellent. Excellent program. So we were talking about installs also, and I know we have Boomtown that will actually do an install over the phone. But when it gets to, this is some of the things I've been thinking about, when it gets to terminals that are a little bit more complicated, I know a lot of our sales rep, which I believe including yourself, you like to go in and do a install yourself.
Correct.
Because not only do you get to do that install, but you're getting some really good benefits because you're doing that install. So tell me how you do the install, and then we'll talk about real quickly about the things that you get from doing the install.
Well, first thing I'll do is I'll ask them if they've done prior to getting there, I'll ask them if, I will use Boomtown, which is our level 1 tech support, if you will, and I'll make sure that they've done that test transaction so it's active. I don't have to get any of the bugs out. We'll let tech support do that. So I'm really just there just to say, hey, how are things working? Do a test transaction with my own card. I'm there, I care about them. And it's at that point where I'll ask them if it's okay. I'd like to know about their neighboring businesses.
So when Boomtown does the install, they kind of do it over the phone, and then you come in and do a follow-up. Right?
That's correct.
All right. After you've done the follow-up, they love it. Right?
Absolutely.
They're feeling good. You've handled everything. You've done everything that you promised. They love their new terminal. They're happy.
Absolutely.
So a happy merchant is going to start telling other merchants about the happiness and what you've done for them. So how do you go about asking them after you presented everything?
Well, number one, the first thing I'll ask them is, do you now see how this is paying for itself? And 9 times out of 10, either they'll have a question, that 1%, or they'll say, absolutely, this is definitely paying for itself. This is light years from what I used to have. It's at that point I'll say, well, I would at this point like to ask you for any businesses, neighboring businesses that you have in the form of a referral. Who do you know that I could just introduce myself to? Would that be okay? And I'll have my pen ready. So just a couple, maybe in your phone or what have you, and that's how that works.
Okay. And now, do you offer them like an incentive for giving you referrals?
Absolutely. I'll actually make their payments for them for each referral that is turns into a client. They'll get a $60 gift card for doing that.
Great incentive. So yeah, so that benefits them, and you can use an example. Say, look, I talked to a merchant that gave me 5, and we ended up getting 5. They ended up getting 5 payments out of that.
That's right.
So it's a blessing for them too, also.
Absolutely.
So great. So you had some other notes. Is there anything on there else that you wanted to share about Point?
Well, the different levels of support is profound. I mean, honestly, you can put up to 5,000 different SKUs in this.
Okay.
I mean, it's just incredible what it will do.
Explain for all of us that are a little bit not tech savvy, when you say SKUs. Okay.
Or 5,000.
I'm old school. So
right. So let's say you're a shop, and whatever's coming through the back door, you literally want to be in control and know if it sells out the front door. Mm-hmm. You can do that with this. So it's just that simple. And tech support, again, through one of the different levels of support, we'll be walking you through that. 24/7, even on holidays, they're available.
That's great.
To help you.
We made a call while we were at breakfast, and I called up Point, and I said, I want to show you how quick Point is. Got on the phone, right? Pressed the button, bang, somebody got on, just like that. I'm like, wow, you don't hear that often. That's something different. So it was encouraging to hear. Then he asked a couple questions. Hey, I'm going to do a demo. Can I call you back? Or can you do a demo? And they were going to do a demo. How would that work? How do they do a demo?
Rich, honestly, when I say this sells itself, between our tech support, I do very little selling. I'm just more or less orchestrating. I'm saying, okay, well, let's just make a call to Point right now. And let's see how fast it takes me to get on the phone. And it's super quick. It's 1 to 2 phone calls, and Point, the 1-800 number for Point itself, is going to pick up the phone. And they will do a demo presentation for you. So you really don't have to do much at all. If the customer says, or the potential merchant says that they'll agree to see this, then it's just as simple as dialing that phone number. They do the rest.
That's awesome. And I noticed something on there too with service. Is it video chatting that they can do?
That's correct.
If they have a service question, how does that work?
Well, they literally it's more like video texting, but they'll come on and you can have a texting conversation, if you will, with tech support right here from your monitor.
Amazing. That's great. So this terminal is incredible. If you're not taking advantage of it, it's time to start doing it, because you've sold me, brother.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been kind of just doing a little bit here and there, and like I said, I've written about 7 or 8 and still kind of going old school, but I'm doing this Point, and I'm going to do it a lot more. I mean, just the knowledge and the information that you gave to me, and I know to everybody out there, this is going to make you a lot of money too, because if you're doing just Veriphones and you're doing then you're doing some smaller leases and you're not making as much, and a lot of times you're replacing what they already have, and you're replacing the same thing. So it's not much of a change. All you're selling basically is just cost, is all.
Exactly.
Savings. But when you can come in here and have something different from what they already have, you can save them money, you can give them great service, they can be with a direct processor, they can be with a local rep, they've got a great product that you don't see out there. You don't see Points out there. So very, very, very amazing. And it's time to take advantage of it. So take advantage of all these products that we have. We're going to do a lot more training classes. We're going to do one with Clover. And I understand that you've been doing some Clover, which I've done one, and it worked well. So I didn't even have to install it, because I know Clover has their own department, and they do it, and they do really good with it. How have you done with Clover?
Clover is any restaurant environment. That's the next level to Point is Clover. And so if we're in a restaurant environment, that's the first thing that we're going to do. From a POS, full-blown POS system, Rich, Clover has taken that industry over. It is no longer is the restaurant owner going to have to buy this $10,000, what's going to be a dinosaur. Now it's just Clover. You can literally, when they're upload their menu prior to their Clover will upload their menu prior to it arriving at their location. So by the time it gets there, they just power it on via Wi-Fi or direct plug in, and it's good to go.
It's ready to go. That's awesome. Yeah, as a matter of fact, I was at the Jaguar game about a month or so ago, and they're got Clover everywhere.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Clover's a big name. So we've got that for you also. We got Swipe Simple. We've got ShopKeep. I know some people are doing those. So whatever you want to sell, we've got it available for the merchants. So there is no excuses. All you got to do is learn. If you learn, you're going to have the confidence. And I'm right there with you. I'm growing with you. I'm learning with you. We're making it happen together. Mitch, I want to thank you for being a guest on our show. You've been a blessing. You're a great friend. I've only known you for less than 2 years, but we're on this journey together.
Absolutely.
We're making it happen together.
Thank
Is there
you,
anything
Rich.
you want to say before we end our show to some of our representatives out there that will encourage them?
I just want to say, ask the questions that you need to ask. But if you're going to go all in, go all in. This is not for everybody, but if it is what you put in is you get more than what you get more out of it than you put into it. So if you put the work in, it has its rewards tenfold.
And you've been a shining example of that, and
It's been fun.
I appreciate you, and I'm proud of you, and I'm excited to see not only where you've gotten up to this point, but where you're going to go. So thank you for being part of this show, and come join us next time. We're doing several shows up in Atlanta, Georgia. Remember, today's gift is a gift from God. What you do with today is the gift back to God. Have a blessed day, a super fantastic, dynamite, exciting day. We'll see you on our next show.